Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle rant. Today's topic, how to get huge. That's right. Everyone wants to know how to get big. So few people accomplish it. Why is that? I see, someone the other day asked me, hey, I was watching Larry Wheels and he eats McDonald's and ice cream and this and that. And is that the secret to getting big? Is that why he's so big? No, he's so big because he's strong as a house and he's a genetic freak. Okay? Here's the key. You want to know the secret to getting big? It's having a strategy that works for your body, okay? You have to figure out how much protein and how much fat and how many carbs you need, and then you got to work it into a program, and you have to make it so that your body is constantly responding. I can only give you how I went about doing it, and I'm a good example, because people can say, wow, Dave was a genetic freak in the sense he was ripped all the time, but I was a very hard gainer. I could not gain weight because my metabolism was so fast. So what I had to do is figure out how to build muscle, okay? And that meant eating a lot of meals per day and eating a lot of food. But you'll find if you eat junk food all day in hopes that, because you're going to eat a lot of calories, you're not going to be able to consume enough quantity of food to grow. So that's the conundrum. You eat junk, you can't eat as much because you're full all the time, okay? If you eat all clean food, it burns through you too quickly and then you don't grow either. So what I found was that there was a way to integrate all of it together. And isn't that always the case? The answer to every question is always somewhere in the middle. It's the balance. It's finding the homeostatic, which means balance, in life that works for what your goals are. Okay, if your goals are to build a lot of lean muscle tissue, and let's assume that you're training hard in the gym, you're lifting heavy weights, you're using full range motion, because these are all necessary. If you don't do that, the eating can be perfect, it won't matter, okay? Let's assume you're taking all the assistory nutritional supplements you need, your vitamins and minerals in a very high quantity of absorbable vitamins and minerals, because they're all necessary in all the chemical reactions in our body, right? Let's assume you're taking in enough essential fatty acids, your omega-3s and 6s, because those are necessary for growth as well. Assuming you're taking doing the training and doing the nutritional supplements, let's talk about the food now. Now, I consider protein powders food, okay? I wouldn't consider them supplements because they're not supplementing. Protein shakes are basically just helping you get enough nutrition in. So when we talk about food, we're talking about the three macros: protein, fat, and carbs, okay? If you eat lean sources of protein, okay, you will be able to eat more of them and you will assimilate them better than junky fried sources of protein. We know this. In the 1990s, I was trying to gain weight. I was working at a gym. And what I would do is I would get these the minute rice, okay? It used to come in these they still come in these little bags, and you boil bags. And I would make seriously, 5 or 6 cups worth. I'd put it in a big, huge Tupperware container, and I'd open up 4 or 5 cans of solid white albacore tuna. Okay, I'd drain the water out, and I'd put the tuna, and I'd mix it in, and I'd put soy sauce and mustard on it. And I'd mix it, I'd Tupperware it, and I'd bring it to work with me. And I'd be there, let's say I was working 8-10 hours at the gym. I would constantly be eating it. My goal was at the end of the day to get all the tuna and rice down, and sometimes I wanted to literally throw up. Okay, that's how much I didn't want to eat it, but I didn't care. I got it down. What I found was I was getting enough protein and carbs in, probably not enough fat because I wasn't eating a lot of fats back then, but I wasn't gaining weight. I was gaining some weight. I was looking better. I was very lean, but I wasn't growing. I was kind of flat. I'm like, I'm eating a lot of carbs. Why am I so flat? And that's when I discovered fats. Okay, but I didn't really understand fats. And what I did was, I've told the story before. I ate McDonald's, and I noticed, wow, I started growing. I did that, and I did that, and I did that day after day, and I grew, and then I hit a plateau again because I had restored to my body what it needed, fats. Okay, and then I had to take the better approach, because if I ate McDonald's, all day long, I wasn't going to eat all the good food. I wasn't going to get enough protein in. So what I had to do is I found out that for my body, the perfect blend was eating 6 to 7 clean meals per day that included shakes. So protein shakes with maybe a carb powder in there, even some ground oatmeal in there, eating eggs, whole eggs with oatmeal, eating rice with tuna, rice with chicken, rice or potatoes with, steak, okay? And then having one junky meal per day. So I wasn't eating junk the whole day. I was eating junk, okay, one meal out of the day. So if I was eating 8 feedings a day, one of them was junk, and not really junk. It was a little dirtier. And for me, it was McDonald's. That's what I liked, okay? I would have, triple cheeseburgers, 2 of them, and I would have a fries. But the rest of the meals were all clean. So what I was doing is the dirty meal was giving my body the stuff it needed that I wasn't getting in the clean meals, but the clean meals allowed me to eat a lot more quantity to get the food, the necessary amount of carbs and fat and protein I needed to get down, okay? And then that junk meal kind of just topped off whatever I was missing. And for me, that was the magical formula. I have a lot of clients I work with, and some of them I have on a similar program to that because they got a fast metabolism. Others don't need, okay, to eat that many times per day. Some people only need to eat 6 times a day, and they're growing fine. It all depends on, okay, what your body is doing. And that's why it's good to have someone to have accountability to. And if you're not going to have a coach because you can't afford it, then at least be tracking what your weight is every week, what your measurements are, how you're looking, how you're feeling. Sometimes how you're feeling is more important. If you're not gaining weight consistently, then you're doing something wrong. When you're in the prime of your career, in your what I call your growth years, you should be able to add 15 to 20 pounds of serious weight, okay, to your frame. If you're not doing that and you're taking anabolics and you train, then your diet is off. And I would say that 90% of the people who come to me and ask me for help, even if they're not clients of mine, they might just say, hey, I work with this guy, I work with that guy. Why aren't I growing? And I look and analyze their diets and everything that they're doing, and I can't see how they train. Although my clients, I sometimes make them send me videos and I correct them, their form. 99% of the time, it's the diet. They don't have the right formula. They're either eating too clean, they're eating too dirty, they're not eating enough food, they're eating too much food. And that's the key. The nutrition part is the key. The supplements should be a no-brainer, okay? You don't have to use my supplements, but if you use V-Mineralize and Omega-Lize and Fiber-Lize, you've got all your bases covered. You don't even have to worry about anything. That's a no-brainer. If you're going to the gym and you're training heavy and you're training, not too much, you're getting enough rest days, then that's covered. Now all you have to do is focus on figuring out what your body needs. And guess what? If you gain 25 pounds of muscle, okay, or 25 pounds of weight, let's say, 10 pounds of it being muscle, you're going to need more food. So the food that got you there is no longer going to get you there. You need to increase it because now you have more muscle to feed. And that's a mistake that a lot of people make. So they make some good gains and then they never go beyond that because they keep trying to eat the same diet over and over that they did to get there. Well, I ate this diet to gain those 10 pounds. I'll just do it again. Well, no, you need more food now. And then some people say, I just can't eat. I have no appetite. They tell me I feel nauseous. You know what? I really don't feel bad for you because I ate food at times when I wanted to throw up. And you heard the stories. I have thrown up and then I re-ate the food. Not the food I threw up, but I made more food for myself. Because you have to be willing to go where no one else wants to go. You can't miss one single meal. Okay, if you do, you've just cost yourself lean muscle tissue gains. That's the mentality you have to have if you want to be a bodybuilder who is successful and who puts on massive amounts of muscle, okay, and maximizes their genetic potential. Ask yourself that question. Are you willing to go there? If the answer is yes, you will be successful. If it's no, get out of the sport. I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle.